Society rewards the person who never says no. They are described as selfless and reliable, the rare individuals who are consistently easy to love. Beneath that reputation lies a state of exhaustion. These individuals find themselves apologizing for circumstances outside their control and carrying a sense of guilt whenever they fail to meet someone's expectations. People-pleasing functions as a survival strategy, hardwired into the nervous system. For those in this cycle, setting a boundary triggers the brain's threat detection centers. The simple act of saying no mimics the physiological response to a physical danger. To understand why a minor disagreement feels like a life or death scenario, we have to look past current relationships and trace the behavior to its origin point. Infants arrive in the world focused on the authentic expression of their own needs. Whether they require food, sleep, or proximity, their communication is direct and unfiltered. That developmental baseline shifts when the child's environment becomes unpredictable. If love is presented as conditional, or if a caregiver is emotionally unavailable, the child must adapt to maintain their connection to safety. The brain registers that expressing an authentic need leads to withdrawal. The child calculates a new rule. Safety requires satisfying others. Over time, innate desires are suppressed for a mask of compliance. They perform the role required, securing the bond by sacrificing their own identity. This environment creates hypervigilance. The child's nervous system stays on alert, scanning for subtle changes in a caregiver's tone of voice or body language. They become experts at reading facial expressions and navigating the moods of others, often before they are old enough to process their own emotions. Love becomes a currency to be earned through performance rather than a state of being. This childhood conditioning remains active in the adult brain, operating as an invisible script in every relationship. Because the people pleaser lacks an internal mechanism to say no, they create an emotional vacuum. They are shaped by the needs of others, leaving them without a defined perimeter to their own identity. This absence of resistance attracts specific personalities. Highly demanding individuals recognize this lack of boundaries, finding a perfect fit. This explains why manipulators gravitate toward the chronic yes. They exploit the space where a boundary should be, extracting emotional labor without encountering a stopping point. Saying yes has become an automated reflex, turning the individual into a magnet for exploitation. The long-term cost is the erosion of the self. By continuously molding your personality to fit the requirements of others, the original version of you eventually disappears. This internal stress eventually moves into the body. The effort required to constantly mirror others manifests as chronic fatigue, burnout, and emotional numbness. Acting as the emotional savior for everyone else requires a total abandonment of yourself. Attempting to break this cycle creates intense internal friction. Setting a first boundary often feels wrong or dangerous to the person attempting it. Neuroplasticity allows the brain to physically rewire these connections. The guilt following a boundary signals the brain is struggling against a reinforced pathway. That emotional pain is the result of breaking an obsolete childhood circuit and forcing a new pattern to form. Boundaries are the practice of psychological self-respect. Healing truly begins the moment you finally recognize that your inherent worth is not a commodity to be earned. People who genuinely value you will never require you to shrink or disappear in order to belong. The kindest word you will ever learn to say is no.